New York, big city of dreams.
I'm coming straight out.
New York, big city of dreams.
NYC.
Let's get it one more time. Let's go. Let's go. Gunshots in the air. Game, set, blouses as announced before, man. The Knicks come back after being down 19 points in dramatic fashion with a comeback victory for the ages. Who said these games aren't important, Ryan? Who says these games aren't important? You damn well. The Knicks come back and beat the Washington Wizards 115 to 113. And we did it in dramatic fashion. We did it with unforeseen lineups. We had ups, we had down. We had Kemba playing bad. We had Obi Toppin playing well. We had last-minute shots. We had three-pointer shooting. We had Grimes getting significant minutes. What more do you want, Ryan? What more do you want, right?
This game was like a typical roller coaster regular season game. Like, it didn't even feel like a preseason game the way the Knicks were playing. And I think we always get on tips for playing guys too many minutes and this and that in the preseason. But I get it. I get why he does this, because he wants the Knicks to go into the season with a winning mentality. Like, he's trying to set the culture from now. He's not trying to wait till the regular season. He's like, nah, y'all got to bring this energy from now so that when the regular season's here, y'all are ready, and Knicks are ready. I'm hyped for this upcoming season. Like, it needs to start tomorrow. It needs to start tomorrow, honestly.
I am ready. I'm ready for the Knicks to face these Boston Celtics on Wednesday, man. But he got that win, baby. 115 to 113. RJ Barrett gives you 18 points. Was he 2 blocks and 6? What was RJ? What is RJ doing? RJ, don't do that to them. RJ, don't do that.
Oh,
2 blocks.
Man, two blocks. Oh boy.
Come on, Julius Randle preseason. Julius Randle and RJ Barrett, by the way, are leading the league in minutes in preseason. Gives you 21 points and 10 rebounds on the night for Julius Randle. Gunshots for Julius Randle, also with 2 assists. Derrick Rose got 28 points and 6 assists. Gunshot in the air for Derrick Rose. Grimes gives you 6 points, but 3 of the most important points in your life in preseason. The most important 3-point preseason points ever. All right?
For real.
Ever. I said it. Yeah, I said it. And Obi Toppin with 9 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 blocks. They said that we couldn't play together. I said it too. They said we couldn't play a small ball lineup of Obi Toppin and Randle, but man.
And the thing is that if Obi protects the rim like how he protected the rim tonight, it definitely can't work with Obi and Randle in the lineup together.
Oh baby, what more do you want, Ryan? Let's talk about it before we even get into that, man. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to my boy Rodney Santa in real life. He's my guy in real life. Shout out to you, DJ Space Ghost. Shout out to Alejandro. Shout out to Fritz. Shout out to Jay Tucker. Shout out to Craig Ward. Shout out to the Nick of Time show. Shout out to people who supporting us. Shout out to Knicks Nation, man. We here. I'm hyped, man. I've never been so hyped for a preseason winner, a preseason championship in my entire life. Let's go. Woo! If you like that intro, man, I know you took a while to get here, but if you like that intro, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And also, man, get in this live. We want to talk to you live. I want to hear this hypeness live today from the audience, man. If you want to call in 319-527-6241 if you want to talk Knicks basketball. But let's get to it, man. We'll start to break down this game. I'm gonna get to the second half later because the first half later because the first half is gonna bring down my mood. The first half is gonna bring down my mood, Ryan.
In the first half, a lot of us question like, what the hell is going on? Because these are not the Knicks we saw all preseason. What the hell is going on?
The first half was the whose man's is this half?
For real.
The first half was definitely the whose man's is this half. So Go ahead.
And there's one player. I'm sorry. I have to get on him this game because he played bad. It was one of our new acquisitions. One of the acquisitions that we were hype about. for Kemba Walker. He was getting burned on the defense.
We get into that. We get into that, Ryan. He's getting to the. We get into the smoke, Ryan. We get into the smoke, Ryan. We gonna start off good. We're gonna start off good.
All right, start off good. All right.
We're gonna start off good because we did win the game. There was a lot of good things to talk about. But Kemba, I appreciate you being here. This is preseason, so we overreacted. But
exactly.
We'll get to you later. Let's keep the mood high. Let's keep the mood high. But okay, so Ryan, what happened, man? Like, listen, the stage was set, man. The stage was set. Mitchell Robinson, right? Mitchell Robinson. We'll start with there. He came in. He changed the imprint of this game. Listen, the Knicks have been doing well when it comes to rebounding overall, but we are 25th in the league in offensive rebounding. Today, we did well on the offensive boards, and largely it had a lot to do with Mitch. Mitch had 9 rebounds on the day and the night, and 6 of those offensive. What did you say? What did you like about Mitch's game tonight? Or just tell me anything that you want to tell me about Mitch's game in general.
Well, first and foremost, I'm going to lead off by saying this. It was clear Mitch was rusty.
Yeah.
It wasn't the same Mitch we saw last season, but it's understandable. He's coming off of a long injury layoff, and it's his first game back. He's still getting his feet wet or whatever the case may be. But the one thing I did notice about Mitch was that you saw the impact immediately with him on the court because, for example, the previous game, who did we face again in the previous game? Or was it the Damn, my memory shot that quick.
The previous game we played. Who did we play the last game? We played I'm looking at my board. The Pistons. We played the Pistons the last game.
Yeah,
yes.
The Pistons. In that game, the Pistons guards were getting into the paint at will, and we were getting killed in the paint. This game, you saw instances where when Mitch is in the middle, guys are not that quick to go up. Like, for example, I saw a play where Caldwell Pope where he got the ball in the paint where he could have went up quick for a layup, but he was worried about Mitch.
Yeah.
So he hesitated. And then the reason with his hesitation, it caused Mitch to recover, and then he passed the ball up to Gafford, who was eventually blocked by, I think, Barrett. And that's what Mitch brings. Mitch brings that inside presence that the Knicks miss, where guys can't just easily just drive to the paint and just lay it up or get lobs and things of that nature. That's the one big thing that I noticed about Mitch, and of course the rebounding was also a major plus.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to take time for him to get his feet wet, with the whole rotations. I got to get into that. The defensive rotation was terrible in the first half.
Oh, that was horrible.
It was horrible.
It was horrible. It was atrocious.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
No, but I mean that's it about Mitch. That's all we gotta say.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. We had Montrezl Harrell. Who do we have? We had Jericho Sims in the first game. Montrezl Harrell saw Jericho Sims the first game, and his eyes light up. Montrezl wasn't really doing no Montrezl things this game. Montrezl only had 11 points and 3 rebounds, and he was killing us on the board. And that, a lot of that had to do with the Mitch effect, because he's not gonna tolerate that stuff. Plus, you saw Mitch. He's been eating his weed. He's been doing his push-ups. And Mitch does not skip leg day. You saw the legs was good too. Mitch, I see you, bro. You got the legs day too. You're not Tyson. Remember Tyson Chandler? Remember when Tyson Chandler was in the gym and he took that picture and he was all swole up top and the 2 picks at the bottom? Yeah, Mitch learned from his predecessors and did not skip leg day, so he's able to hold his own, play perfect defense. He got blocked a little bit, but you know what? He did well. He set some good screens without fouling. He intimidated people for long periods of time, and it got to a point where Taj Gibson was in foul trouble. And even though Tom said, "Oh, we're going to ease him in," and and get him a taste, he's not going to play that much. Mitch ends up playing 26 minutes on the night. So much for easing. He's playing his regular season minutes in his first preseason game.
I'm convinced now when Tom Thibodeau says we're gonna play a guy a few minutes, he means 25 minutes minimum.
Right. Right. Exactly. There is no Tom is way too competitive to play people smaller minutes. He just does not have it. Unless the guy subs himself out of the game, they are not going anywhere at all. But Mitchell, it'll take time for Mitchell to get back to regular season speed. The timing was a little bit off, but his intimidation factor was there, and he was sorely missed, and he had impact on this game so far. So salute to Mitchell Robinson, and welcome back, Mitch, man. We miss you, and when he gets his full win, he's gonna be a problem, man. He's definitely
big problem.
Going to be a whole problem. And I see, okay, first caller is up, but before we even get to the first caller, I just want to talk about the small ball lineup, all right? Because the small ball lineup, we were forced into it. Ryan. Tom talked about the small ball lineup for like beginning of the season, before the season even started. And we were forced into it because of Taj Gibson's foul trouble. Mitchell already played 26 minutes. He looked down the court. We were down 19 points. And he said, you know what? Randle and Obi Topping have to play together. There was concerns, Ryan, that we was not going to play good defense. And long and behold, we played good defense. What did you see from that small ball lineup, man?
First and foremost, with the small ball lineup, we were worried that, the Knicks were not going to play good defense with that lineup. But I think the major difference was subbing out Kemba and putting in Grimes. Because Grimes added that extra defensive pressure that we needed on the perimeter, which the Knicks were sorely missing because the Wizards guards were killing us that game.
Right.
It's not like as if the Wizards were killing us inside. The Wizards were killing us from the perimeter. It was the guards that was killing us, and by putting in Grimes, that extra guy who can play that perimeter defense, I think that helped to shore up the defense overall for the Knicks, and the Knicks were able to score, of course, with a small ball lineup and hold their own on the defensive end, and that pretty much helped them to come back and win the game.
And Ryan, what have we been saying since preseason, Ryan? What have we been saying? We've been saying if there's any chance for McBride or Grimes, and I thought it might be McBride actually, but we said if there's any chance for McBride or Grimes to get any minutes, would be because the defense is just so bad, or such a stupor that the coach is forced to go to one of these defensive rookies to, stop the bleeding. And that's exactly what happened today. Exactly what happened today. It was like, all right, we had enough. He went to him early, so Alec Burks was sitting, so there was a plan to play him from the jump. And let's be honest, he was putting in extra time since the last game. He was shooting extra hours with McBride last game, so it seems like he was predetermined. But he earned his way into that spot. And not only that, Ryan, the defense, multiple callers. Okay, Fritz, after this topic, we getting the callers in, all right, Fritz? When the defense, it was not even just that. Randle and Topping, our other worries actually played really good defense as well, man.
Yeah.
Like and also we didn't lose anything on the offensive end. We got Randle hitting last minute shots and Obi hitting clutch threes in the corner with the renewed confidence of Obi, even though he's been missing some easy layups, and Randle's offensive repertoire. If the defense is going to scramble like that every game, then it might be worth a shot to do that against certain lineups, I think.
Exactly. And to add to what you were saying with Grimes, I think this was a positive that Grimes showed up like that, because this tells the guys that's ahead of him in the main rotation, the first and second unit, that if you don't hold up your end of the defensive unit, if you don't hold up your end of the on the defense, we have guys that I'm gonna bring in these guys who are hungry,
right,
and take your spot for that game. And I feel like that's going to add added pressure to these guys to play defense, because they're going to know that if they don't play defense, they're going to be on the bench and their spot is going to get taken by somebody else who's hungry to get into the game.
Exactly, Knox. Exactly, Kemba. Exactly. Get your stuff together, man. Grimes is ready, man. It's Grime time, baby. We ready. Let's go. 104 in the chat. If you're liking the conversation so far, if you're excited about that win, 104 in the chat. Let's hit that like button, man. And also subscribe to the channel if you're a #new. All right, let's go. Fritz. I know the callers are excited, man. Bring in the callers, man. First caller up. Let's go. Bring them in. Let's talk Knicks basketball, buddies. Let's go.
JLS.
What up? State your name. Where you from, sir?
Yo, it's Joey from Atlantic City. How we doing, guys?
We doing all right, man.
We good, man. We good.
Yo, I just want to say, man, Randle, he finally did it, man. He finally hits the game-winning clutch shot that I've been waiting for such a long time. Like, just to see him, like, just to hit that, man, like, from all the times of him, messing up in the past from last season and the season before that, it's just nice to see him finally get that, like, the team running around him and be like, yeah, like, good stuff, we won.
Right.
Like, I think he needs that, you know what I'm saying, as our number one option. That just builds chemistry, it builds camaraderie, it's just like a good thing. So it was nice to see. It was nice to see us finally get a nice win like that, like, game winning type stuff.
Yeah, I agree, man. I
All
agree,
good
man.
stuff.
It's good to get that what's momentum going into the season. And let's not be wrong, he hit a couple of game winners during the season. Late during the season, even though he didn't really show up in the playoffs. But I'm with you, though. I'm glad that Randle showed up and hit that game winner, especially over a guy you're supposed to hit it over, right? Like, these guys can't hold your jockstrap. Hit that jumper over their face.
Exactly.
I mean, I just think it's important, just like for this year, it just shows growth. You know what I mean? That's what we're looking for. But, Derrick Rose had a good night tonight. I'm glad he showed up. We need that from him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this team is, going to be very good if he doesn't put up numbers like this. He's going to be another one of our main, scorers. RJ Barrett had some big blocks tonight. That was nice to see from him getting those blocks.
Right.
But yeah, man, it's just good stuff all around. I feel like our team's really deep this year. Just seeing just so much good basketball.
Absolutely.
I'm loving it.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely, man. We got weapons, man. We just gotta learn how to use them and when to use them. But we have weapons galore. It's just gonna be up to Tom to push the right buttons and play the right players to get the most out of the team. But we got something here, man. We definitely got something, man. For real.
But
Hey-
the main reason I called in tonight, I wanted to talk about Mitchell Robinson. I feel like tonight, just like watching him come back, it's nice to see him back on the court. But I feel like he's kind of slowing down our defense a little bit. Just I don't know, not like in a like a shot blocking state, but kind of like in a movement, like the way that we chase down the offensive players. I don't know if that's because it's his first game back or whatever, but he seemed a little slow. Get to his guy.
He was tired, man. Like he was tired. He was tired. He hasn't played full court real basketball game since last year. He got a double-double last year playing against the Wizards at halftime, and that's the last real game that Mitch has had. It was a double-double. So, that's to be expected. He's going to take a minute to get his actual game-playing wind back. So I wouldn't read too much into that.
Yeah. You could see it, though, he seemed a little rusty. That's all I really wanted to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Mitch is gonna be fine. His presence, his presence already kind of deflected some easy baskets just being there, just because he has the length and the stature, so and his reputation. So he's gonna be fine, man. I'm not worried about Mitch at all.
I'm diving for a couple of things. I just hate to see him like on the ground sometimes. I'm like, I hope he doesn't hurt himself again.
Yeah, you know what it is. You want to say something, Ryan?
No, I was just saying that that worry's always going to be there because he's come back from a long injury, a long layoff and things like that. But it's just a matter of time. You just got to give him a few games. Let him get his air back. And get his basketball shape back, and everything's going to be fine.
Yeah.
I wouldn't look too much into it today.
Yeah, man, Mitch, you can tell how tired Mitch is by how much he hits the floor. That's how I start to realize. The more when he starts to hit the floor multiple times in a 3-minute span, that means he's really tired. You need to get him out the game. So you definitely got to watch that carefully. But he'll be better. But thanks for calling in, Joey. Appreciate you calling.
Thanks.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Salute. Salute to the chat, man. If you're new, hit that hashtag new, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Shout out to Tanzia, shout out to D Nice, shout out to Still Knicks fans. I saw Uruguay in the chat. Ricardo Custer, shout out to you.
All right.
Uruguay in the chat. I see you, sir. DJ Space
Yes,
Goes.
sir.
Everybody else is rocking with the KOT show. If you're liking the show so far, hit that like and subscribe button. Next caller up, you bring them up on here on Fritz whenever that next caller is ready. State your name and where you from on enter, because I can't even see who's calling in. All right.
Yo, what's up, J. Ellis? Your boy Andre from Richmond, Virginia.
What's going on, Andre? Welcome. From Richmond, Virginia. Are you born in New York?
Nah, right next to the little brother, New Jersey.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Cool.
Cool.
That's cool. All right, cool. So what do you want to talk about today, Andre?
It's just really just scary just seeing how much the Knicks, when they're not even on point, just because of one or two players. Meaning by that, like, you know, I don't want to keep harping on the guy like, okay, but Upper Payton, but let's face it, Bird couldn't shoot. I would say he was best as a backup, and then just as he had his moments. I'll give him that. But when you replace a guy like that with a guy like Kemba, even on a down year, and just seeing how even from the night how they were just easily moving the ball, just like 2-6 seconds, and then got like the corner three to Quentin Grimes, like they had at least threw about 23 pointers before, like 3 minutes before the actual first half.
Right,
and
yeah.
We're gonna basically be a high scoring team, but then actually does the defense, and then you throw in a guy like Mitch right next to Julius Randle, that were 4 guys that can all legitimately shoot above league average.
Right.
And people then trying to say we not top 5? Like, come on.
Yeah, man. Listen, like we've done very well for us. Like our pace has quickened. We got the 4th best offensive rating in it's only preseason. You know, we have been averaging 116 points per game, so we stepped it up, and we've been averaging about 43s a game. I think I think we hit our number today. As a how many threes did we actually throw up today?
I'm about to check.
42 3-point attempts today, shooting 15.
Yeah.
41% from the field, 35% from 3. So we're hitting our numbers. But you're absolutely right, man. With the additions that we made, we're going to be way better offensively than people give us credit for. Kemba Walker, you know, even though he had a bad game defensively, he had 6 assists and hit some shots. But you're right, man. People are sleeping on us for sure.
Yeah, and then the only thing I was really worried about for this whole night, and maybe I'm a little paranoid, but was when Mitchell Robinson went up to I think about either alter or block a shot, and then everyone else is down the court except for him, and I'm thinking to myself like, oh crap.
That boy tired, man. That boy tired.
Yeah.
That boy tired. He was only prepared to play 10 minutes, and he played 25.
For real.
But
he'll be all right, though.
I'm not trying to say he was injury prone, but it's just the thought, like, because he really alters the game, because like how we always go back to the series with the Hawks, where Clint Capella was actually really the determining factor that really, you know, basically got us out there 4-1.
Mm-hmm.
And then even with all the thing with Trae Young did, we only lost. And like the game really got out really about to the second half, because, you know, Debo was basically done, you know, and everyone else was just, you know, time came and it's like, you know, it's just one of those series.
Nah, I agree with you,
But
man.
Yeah.
I agree with you, man.
We go ahead and we only then lost it by at least no more than about 10. And we was out there for the whole time. Like, if we really let that sink in and we basically replaced the 2 players that were even lucky even get 10 points, and we replaced it with 15-point game scoring, and as me being generous with a Kemba, and then let's say 12-13 with Evan Fournier, and how he was coming off the handoffs, getting into it, and then how much offense that created, and then that lob to what? First it was Mitch, and then Obi Toppin that started getting us back in the game with the Wizards. Like,
yeah, man.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, man. Great, good stuff, yo. Yo, thanks for the call, man. I appreciate you calling in, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate y'all.
Yo, let's talk about it. Yo. I don't know if you have any more calls. Salute to Jay Boogie in the chat. I see you, my guy. Jay Boogie, salute to you, man. Yo, let's talk about Derrick Rose for a second. And this, you know, Derrick Rose and Kemba Walker, they kind of have like a kinship. They seem like they're long lost brothers. They were very close when they first get together. They taking pictures together on media day. You know, they chummy. I think it's time for Derrick Rose to have a talk with Kemba.
Yeah. Oh man.
I think it's time for Derrick Rose to have a talk with Kemba.
I think it's kind of wild that, you know, it's preseason and we're already getting on Kemba for this one game because he was getting burned on defense crazy.
I feel you. But here's why. And shout out to D Nice. We're gonna talk about Julius Randle some more too, because that boy a beast. All right.
Yeah.
But like, okay, I'm still happy that Kemba is here. Definitely, Kemba over Elfrid Payton all day, every day. But
For real.
why I say Derek should have that close win, because I feel like whenever Derrick Rose meets Tom Thibodeau, Derrick Rose's defense just goes up to another level, right? He's like, if you look at the defensive ratings throughout his career, it always seems to be at his best when he's around Tom Thibodeau. As good as Kemba is on the offensive end, I feel like there's certain defensive principles that he needs to implement that he's just not doing. And even though he's, and listen, look, Derrick Rose is not the best one-on-one defender, defending point guard in the league. But what happens is he puts a lot of effort in. He puts his hands up in passing lanes. Even when he gets beat on pick and roll, he trails the guard a lot tighter. Like, he tries to minimize his mistakes as much as possible. And I think Kemba has to learn to do that.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though. This is why, because with Kemba, you have to remember he's an undersized guard. So most point guards he goes up against are going to be bigger than him. So they're gonna probably be able to shoot over him and things of that nature. The thing is that when you have Kemba on the court, this is why I preach defensive rotation so much, because when you have a guy like Kemba on the court, your defensive rotations have to be tight, because Kemba's not a great one-on-one defender. Guys are gonna get by him sometimes and things of that nature. You're gonna have you need your defense to rotate, on point.
Right, on point. I feel you.
Yeah, on point, because with a guy like that, you have to cover his mistakes. Everybody has to cover their mistakes. So with the Knicks rotations not being on point in that first half, that's when Kemba was exposed. Because if the rotations are not going to be on point and the Wizards know that Kemba's a weak defender, they're going to take advantage of him. They're going to drive on him and all those things. And that's what they did. They drove on him. They were able to get to the basket. The rotations got messed up. Then often you saw it was either like Dinwiddie open for three, who Kemba was guarding, or Neto was open for three, who Kemba was guarding, and it just broke apart. So, Kemba's a great offensive weapon, but when he's on the court, the Knicks have to make sure that defensively they're scrambling, because that's the only way you're going to keep the defense together when Kemba's on the court.
Yeah, they can't have halves offs like they did today, because that's exactly what happened. They had halves offs. Randle is a really good defender when he's locked in. I feel like he took off in the first half. Evan Fournier, he's been up and down, but when Evan Fournier is a good defender, when he's locked in, he's a good defender as well. But somebody has to be the emotional defensive leader in that first unit, and that's the L that we took for losing Reggie Bullock. But it's somebody's gonna have to step up and just kind of hold somebody else accountable on that team for this to work going forward. And I'm sure Tom is going to have Kemba look at a lot of tape, because it just seemed like, especially in that third quarter, the third quarter has been that quarter when we put up the most resistance and we made that pushback. It seemed like there was no defensive intensity as soon as the third quarter started. And a lot of that has to do with Aaron Holiday kind of, taking Kemba's cookies today. But but on the other hand, we saw Derrick Rose score 28 points. And listen, Tom is not trying to lose, bro. Tom is not trying to lose. Tom got a technical foul in the fourth quarter of a preseason game. Tom is not trying to lose. Tom played how many minutes did Derrick Rose play? Derrick Rose played 28 points today. Kemba Walker did not see the court after that third quarter debacle, man. But like Derrick Rose showed his true value, because Knicks only scored 15 points in the first quarter, and when we started going, it was because Derrick Rose was able to get to the paint a lot more and hit that little floater, and also get people involved with the alley oops to Obi Toppin and hitting threes. He did everything, man. What did you see from Rose today, Ryan? Did you hear me? I think we lost Ryan. His internet connection dropped right now. I'm not sure what happened, but his internet connection dropped. So salute to the chat, man. Fritz. What's going on, Fritz? Fritz, I'm not sure if there's another caller up.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
What's going on, man?
I know it's I know I feel forgotten out here because when it comes to the Knicks went 4-0. I've been 0-4 because I'm Xfinity.
You said you're what?
Yeah, I haven't watched any of the Knicks games. I just been watching these reviews. I know it's early, but I want to propose a trade.
You want to propose a trade earlier?
I'm calling Xfinity. I'll trade News 12, Fox News, and the Hallmark Channel for my MSG back. Basically.
Oh man! So that's right. Okay, so you're in the I see what you're saying. You're like in one of those stations where you now have the MSG. A salute to you, man. Well, we're gonna be. Listen, man. I'm sorry to hear about that. So you didn't really get to catch the game.
But I was watching the ticker. I was watching the ticker like real intense. So I can't speak on the game, but I'm really excited for the season. I'm really hoping I can get into it. I don't want to pay for a second cable, but may have to. But yeah, still excited for the season. I'm ready to get it going.
That's all right. You know what? You might have to get some Fubu TV that Nuggy Fresh is talking about, man. You might have to go on and get that.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but salute to the chat.
Right. I think we got. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Ryan is back.
I think we got a caller coming up. So,
okay.
Just give you a minute. Okay.
All right. Cool. All right. Cool. Ryan got caught in the Matrix, and Ryan is now back from the Matrix.
Yeah. My MacBook is acting funny, so yeah.
All good. It's it's technology, man. These things happen sometimes, man.
For real.
All right. What happened? All right, cool. I'm trying to get you back here. I'm trying to get your picture actually back in here. Where's my Ryan cam? Let's see, because you just completely dropped. But you know what? Before we go on, let's talk about R.J. Barrett for a second.
Cool.
RJ, man, shout out to my guy Illa, because I know Illa is the biggest RJ fan ever. Every time I see Illa in the chat, I think, oh, you know what? Did I talk about RJ Barrett yet? Like every time. RJ Barrett, man, another solid game. You look up, it doesn't look like he's having a fantastic game, but you look at the stats and you realize he has 18 points, shoots 7 of 14 from the field, and 50%. At 50%. And he gives another all-around game, gives you 6 rebounds, not an assist guy today, but 2 blocks and pretty good defense, man. Especially on, we didn't see Bradley Beal that much, but when he was on Beal, he played pretty good defense, man. So what do you think about RJ Barrett's performance today?
It was a performance. Efficient at 1-6 shot, 57 from the field. He's 66% from 3, which is also a big positive. But I think the big thing about RJ Barrett was his defense. Defensively, he was really good. He definitely picked it up in the second half as well when he was with that lineup, toward the end of the game. And with that major block, I think it was on the rookie on Wizards, the Israeli dude. I forgot, Avija or something like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I thought that he played really well. And to be real, I've been impressed with RJ Barrett throughout the whole preseason. He's played really good, and I feel like he's going to be a major piece for the Knicks in the regular season coming up.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I was kind of worried about his usage rate dropping. But when I'm looking at what's happening on the court, it seems like Evan Fournier, he's kind of reverted to his overseas ball mover role. He hasn't been taking that many high volume shots really, and RJ has been steady taking the shots that he's been taking all season. And it's worked out for him, and it looks like he's definitely taking a step up on the defensive side. I saw a really good defensive RJ thread on Twitter by, I think, Ariel, that was talking about how he adjusts his technique on getting skinny on pick and rolls. You also saw some really good one-on-one defensive sequences against Barry Beal. And also when Beal was out, he's taking a challenge on taking their best offensive player, because when Beal was out, then they put him on Dinwiddie, And, Dinwiddie had to work a little bit. So RJ, man, having a really, really good preseason so far, man. I'm excited to see what he does. It just seems like he's a steady progressing and steady adding things to his game, for sure.
Exactly. And I think one of the fears I had for RJ coming into the season was with so many different weapons the Knicks had, I felt like his scoring was going to go down. But so far, I've been seeing in the preseason so far, it seemed like his scoring is going to be pretty good. Even though the Knicks have more weapons on offense, it just seems like based on what I see in preseason, he's going to be more efficient, and because of that, and because of him being more efficient, he's going to be able to keep up his scoring. So it's definitely a positive right there.
Yeah, what I'm seeing is it's harder for Julius to get going in the flow of the offense all the time. Because in the first quarter today, I felt like when he was getting down, he was trying to kind of take over, and I feel like he was disrupting the flow a little bit. But when Julius, he seems like when he gets more time, he starts to run around more. He starts to get going. In that third and fourth quarter is when he really started to shine and take over. So it seems like Julius, he's not. It seems like he might not have the fast starts like he's not used to, like he's been having. He might be like the second, third quarter guy, and then like bring me home at the end, which is fine with me if he's gonna be giving you 29 points and like that's fine. That's fine, man. Oh man, but let's talk about. But salute to the chat, man. I want to salute you guys. If you're liking the show so far, please hit that like and subscribe button. Also, you can also call in. There's a number right there below, 319-527-6241 if you want to talk Knicks with us on this Friday night. Friday night Knicks. The Knicks win, baby. Knicks win, baby. Preseason chip in the bag.
Exactly. Let's hold up the preseason trophy.
Let's go. We got it. We are the champions. At any time we can smack down Dinwiddie, it's a good night. All right, because man, look, I didn't forget you with those Brooklyn paint jobs. You was with the paint jobs earlier, and now with you with the Wizards, I still don't like you. I still don't like you. All right. So screw you and your Bitcoin. All right. But 3 callers up. All right, patch them through, Fritz. Let's go. Let's just get through these calls. And don't forget Go ahead.
This is Marcel calling from Brooklyn, baby.
Let's go, Marcel.
All right,
Brooklyn.
in the house.
Let's go, Marcel.
Hey, I heard that the New York Knickerbockers, or should I say ours? When I say the word ours, I mean ours. Our New York Knickerbockers sweeping the Washington Wizards by a score of 115-113 tonight on this Friday night. Knicks looking forward to the regular season will taking place anytime soon. The playoffs will take place next year in April, and the championship's on us. Here's the thing. If the Knickerbockers keep things hungry, all things up, and working hard to beat the defending teams, including the championship Milwaukee Bucks,
right?
Our team belongs to our city, our team, and our communities, big and small.
I agree with you. But you see us win the championship. You calling the tip early, huh?
Yeah, do you know that the New York Knicks have won in 1970s and the 1990s? I remember this one back in when I was a baby growing up here in New York. I was born in 1992 with Harlem with my brother. Then I moved from Manhattan to Brooklyn, my home place Coney Island, and of course Gravesend is my home stand back in 1993. And I saw the New York Knickerbockers have won the NBA championships back in 1994 against the Houston Rockets, the Indiana Pacers.
I think you have your facts a little, wrong. We have not won a championship since '73, but you know.
Oh yeah, that's right, 1973.
We made the finals.
We made the finals, but we got close. We got close.
Yeah, of course. And do you remember this? The New York Knicks have won right back in 1999.
Yeah, we made the finals again.
We made the finals. I'm glad you're a Knicks fan, but you got to get your facts straight, all right?
Well, you know what? Not just for the Knicks fan, but I'm a New York sports ambassador.
All right, you got more work to do.
All right, that's good.
Salute to you, though. Thanks for calling in, man.
You can follow me on Twitter, you
Fritz,
guys,
hang that
at
up,
After Dark Marcel.
All right.
Hang up.
Have a good night.
All right,
You too, man.
Was he serious, or he's like trying to plug his Twitter?
Oh man.
Oh man. Next caller up, man. Next caller up. I'm not sure if he was an actual Knicks fan or if he was for real or not, man. But he like he really...
I don't know. I mean, yeah, we had finals appearances in the '90s, but we ain't have no chip though. That's the thing.
You can't be an ambassador and then say we have championships that we never won. Like that can't. What are you ambassadoring? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, thanks for the call, though. It was entertaining.
Yeah, thank you. All right, next caller, please.
Yeah,
next caller,
man.
please.
Next caller up, Rich, man. Oh, my gosh. Just salute to the chat, man. Illis, shout you out, Illir, Tanzer, everybody else rocking with the show, man. Y'all funny.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Is that Reaper?
I was a big Reaper.
Yeah.
I didn't even know I was on yet. But yeah, that was a really funny call. I was actually just in the chat telling you guys to hang up on him.
That was...
I don't think obviously you guys handled it correctly. It's not good to be rude,
Right.
So, but he was a pretty funny guy.
Yeah, he was funny.
But yeah, it's like I like the way they came back. I like obviously they have fight and heart and all that stuff. And Tom Thibodeau was just trying to show them like he doesn't care like what time of the year it is. He doesn't like to lose, and so it's definitely good to see that. But you guys are spot on. Like the first half, I definitely wasn't feeling the defense. Overall, I'm not as hyped. I'm not as hyped as I was earlier in the preseason. Mostly because I'm starting to see some things that are like I think is definitely going to be an issue for the squad. Obviously with Kemba Walker, it's like he just can't stop anyone. It seems like so.
Yeah,
that's going to be interesting to see. And you guys remember what happened to Rivers last year? I mean, Tom Thibodeau does not care. It's like he doesn't care if the city loves you, So I think if he doesn't pick up the defense and his offense doesn't start to be consistent and pick up, I mean, he's still a great ball mover. He did some good things on the offensive side. He definitely helps the ball move around really well. But I think if the defense doesn't pick up and there's inconsistency from him on the offense, I do think you're going to see Tom Thibodeau not even let Kemba Walker close the game. So that's one thing I saw. The other thing is I agree. RJ Barrett overall, his field goal percentage is good, but I'm still really concerned about him finishing at the basket. It's like I think for the team to be a lot more efficient, like he needs to start finishing better in the paint. Like he's basically the one player where we run the one play where he's the one that gets to attack the paint, and they do it because he's a really good playmaker. I definitely admit he's an excellent playmaker, and so he gives you a lot of optionality if he's driving to the basket because he can pass, throw a lob. There's a lot he can do going to the paint. But I think they're hoping he becomes a better finisher because if he doesn't, I think we're going to struggle if we don't start finishing better at the rim. And right now it's like we're as a team we're struggling finishing at the rim. I think that's a big problem for the team. And the one thing they could do later on if it continues, they may start swapping him and Fournier, as far as not necessarily put RJ on the bench, but they'll swap roles where Fournier is the one who's attacking the basket more, and doing some of that playmaking possibly. I think they may end up doing that if he doesn't start finishing better at the rim, I think.
Right.
It's just the whole team is just like they struggle with it. And also Julius, too. I mean, well, Julius actually finishes pretty well at the rim, but they just don't run enough for him at the rim.
Yeah, I agree with you.
They don't try to get him open at the rim. And then also, I don't think he tries to get to the basket enough, too. So,
yeah.
But, that's pretty much it. I'm happy they won, but I'm not really as hyped as I was, the first 3 preseason games. But hopefully they get better, and it's a good season. It's a really good season.
All right. Salute to you, Reaper.
All right, man.
Some good observations.
Good call, man.
Yeah, good call, man. And we can talk about something like the first thing he mentioned was the holes, right? We haven't played super high level defensive teams yet this season. I guess maybe the Pacers. I don't know. But I would say when we can't score, it's going to be interesting how we handle things, because at that point, that's when our defense has to take over. So I do agree. It's gonna be interesting to see how long he goes with Fournier and Kemba in the lineup when we have problems scoring, or just will Kemba be coached up better to play better defense the Tom Thibodeau way? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I admit I can see a situation where if the defense is struggling that much in the starting lineup, like maybe there might be a situation where like Thibs will take out one of Kemba or one of Fournier, and maybe replace Fournier with maybe say Grimes, Burks, or somebody like that. So where it's like, okay, we're gonna have a bit more of a defensive presence with those guys, rather than those two being on the court together on the perimeter. So there might be situations where Thibs might be like, okay, I'm not gonna play Fournier and Kemba together, or whichever combination of players Thibs thinks that, okay, these guys together, the defense is not gonna be as good. So I'm gonna take one of them out and put somebody else in, and have them play maybe one guy with the first, one guy with the second unit kind of thing, kind of like switch them in and out.
Yeah, I can see that happening too, where he plays the rotations and puts Grimes in and plugs McBride. I don't know, something along those lines. But I really want to see, we've had really good numbers overall in preseason. We've been top 10 in pretty much every category, offensive and defensive, when it comes to pace, when it comes to three-point shooting, when it comes to field goal percentage, when it comes to defense. But, we've only played certain level teams. When it gets to the Bucks, when it gets to these upper halves of the Eastern Conference, when it gets to the West Coast, I want to see if all that is going to, stabilize and keep up. Or is the numbers just, kind of just a representation of the competition that we've been playing lately? But it's all in due time, and it's still just preseason, and I'm still pretty happy what I've seen from this team so far. Like, again, 40 plus threes made this game, and a lot more to go. Okay, Fritz says another caller, one more caller up. All right, patch him in, Fritz. Let's talk.
Hey, what's going on there? This is Scott from Jersey.
What's going on, Scott?
They love the show, guys.
Hey, man.
What's going on, Jay Ellis, Ryan G? Okay, just real rapid fire. I'm about to say I love the way RJ is playing so far. I mean, he has not been perfect by any means, but still exciting to see what he's doing and how he's improving. I think we need to be very fair with RJ about his defense. I think his defense is improving, but I think some people may have some ideas that he's going to be a lockdown defender this year. I think he's going to be a plus defender. I think he's going to be an above-average defender. So I don't want people to put too much on him and overwhelm him in that part of his game, but I think he's still going to be a really good defender for us. Secondly, it was nice to see Mitch back out there.
Yeah.
Sees that he needs to get his stamina back up, need to get his wind back together. His lift doesn't seem quite there on the finishing and the dunks, but I think all that's going to come along, so I'm really excited. And I think he's really going to help our defense come together. And as a whole, I see people getting a little concerned about the team. Heard a little bit of the post game with Coach Tibbs, and he's talking about how the starters didn't have enough time to fully gel on the defense and offensive end a little bit. And I think that will come along. So I don't want people to get too down on what they saw in these last 2 preseason games. I think the team is still growing together, still gelling, still trying to figure it out. So that's all I wanted to say, man. Love the show. Shout out to you guys. Everybody hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the show. It's a great show.
Absolutely. Thank you. I like that.
Thank you, man. Thanks.
You saw that? He had the double Dutch guide in, guide out, hit his points. Bang, bang, bang. Clear, concise. I'm loving that. Nice call, man. Liking that call, man. What's his name again? I forgot his name.
Scott from Jersey.
Scott from Jersey. Shout out to Scott from Jersey, man. Appreciate the call, sir. Appreciate the call. Definitely calling back, man. I'm liking this new phone call method, man. I feel like I'm starting to get people that never called in before. So I think the experiment is working and it's worth keeping. So thank you guys. Thank you. This because of your support and your sharing, your liking, your donations that we're able to add more things to the channel and grow the KOT show. So thank you everybody for your support and the growth of this channel. If you're loving the call, if you're loving the show so far, please hit that like and subscribe button as well, man. And we definitely will be next show will be opening night against the Celtics on Wednesday. So get ready for that. All right.
Knicks W.
Let's go. The revenge game for Fournier and our guy Kemba. All right. But yo, listen. I know we've been talking for a minute, but I feel like there's still like topics that we have not hit that we can talk about. Like,
what are we missing?
Well, first of all, Kevin and Knox versus Grimes. Did we touch on Kevin Knox?
We did it, but that's an easy argument.
Okay. That's an easy argument. All right.
Yeah, that's an easy argument, yeah.
Is it case closed on Kevin? Like I said this before, I think we have to kind of move him before we can't have a Frank Ntilikina situation.
Nah, man.
Where we lose him for nothing. Grimes has better defense. There was even a point where there was a steal. You know, Kevin always has problems where he doesn't see the man in his ball.
Yeah.
And in a pivotal time in the game, Grimes had one eye on his man, sees his man cutting behind him, and then gets the steal and it ignites a fast break. And that's something that Kevin's been struggling with for like 3 years since he's been here.
Yeah.
Like little things like that make Grimes on the court worthwhile. And even though he shot horribly, he hit important shots, and you just from summer league, looking at him in summer league, you know eventually those shots are going to fall.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
all I gotta say is, me watching Grimes tonight had me like Uncle Phil when he threw jabs out the front door. That's what I was doing to Kevin Knox. I was like, okay, Kevin Knox, it's time to go. Just off of you. Like, nah. Grimes is here. Grimes is taking over. I'm sorry, Kevin. You're pushed back on the bench. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. And I saw somebody mention Quickley, because Quickley didn't have that good of a night either. You know, like, but he's had moments though. Yeah. But you know, he's 2 for 8 for the night. Shot 25% from the field. A turnover. 2 assists. What did you think about Quickley's game tonight, man? But
I mean, there's not really much to say from what I've seen tonight. It seems like, I don't know, maybe he still needs some more time to get his game back. I really don't know what to say about Quickley in the preseason. He just hasn't shown me much. Like, yeah, he had moments where he looked good as a point guard, where he was making sound decisions with the ball. Mm-hmm. But I also found that this preseason he's been a bit too foul happy, and he's taking his shots. His shots aren't falling. I'm hoping that Quickley will pick it up when the regular season comes, but during the preseason, he's been a bit underwhelming.
I can see. He hasn't been okay. I'll say this about Quickley, because he's always been a Quickley supporter. I feel like they had him playing more of a shooting guard role today instead of a point guard role. The last game he had was more of a point guard role, and I actually felt like he did okay as being, setting people up as a point guard the game before, even though his shots weren't hitting. But today, as a guy who was playing more of a shooting guard role, I didn't feel like he had. I don't know. He had some moments like especially in the first half, he hit like a banker 3.
Yeah.
Or so he had some moments, but I feel like he didn't have the same impact today. When he's not hitting his shots and playing shooting guard, sometimes it could get a little bit shaky.
Yeah.
Sometimes it get a little bit shaky. Go ahead.
Yeah, I will say this about Quick though. On defense, he has improved. I'll give him that. He is a better defender comparing him this season to last season. But besides that, he shows flashes at point guard. It seems like I don't know. All I'm saying is I hope that when the regular season comes, he'll pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, I think that he's made a point to improve his defense, and that's why he's getting into foul trouble so much. I think he's trying to play up on his man and prove that he can be a good defender, and it's getting him a little bit of a trouble, and that's why he's been foul trouble this whole preseason mostly. But I feel like Quickley is going to be okay eventually. Yeah. I'm not too worried about Quickley, man. I think it's going to fall. I think his shots are going to start to fall for sure. But yeah. Salute to the chat, man. Thanks for everybody who's rocking with the KOT show, man. If you're liking the show so far, hit that like and subscribe button if you like what you're seeing, man. The only other news really to talk about is the Knicks have been making kind of some small moves here and there, for these 14 and 15 guys on the bench, man. We have a roster spot open. We've cut Bacon, we waived Miles Powell.
Yeah, but that's just for him to play with the G League, though.
Exactly, but that's just for him to play with the G League.
Yeah.
And we signed the dude from the Spurs, 19 pick, first round pick from the Spurs, Luka. I don't know how to say his name, Samanik.
Yes. They're close enough.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out.
we cutting one Luka for another, man. We got Lucas for days. What was happening about 18, 19 years ago when everybody was just naming all their kids Luka? What was? But it's gonna be another Knicks experiment, man. Luka is a guy who seems like he's really good on the off. He's pretty some chops on the offensive end. He had a pretty good G League stint. I think he averaged 21 points a game in G League. But his thing has always been the defense. And if you come to learn defense, you've come to the right place. Tom Thibodeau might get him right. But I didn't really expect him to see any minutes with the Knicks. But it's one of those guys. It's okay, cool, good move. First round draft pick. That cost us nothing, and we get to see, what he has. That's kind of like the old school, Perry Mills way, where you just get the wayward first round picks and see what happens.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll say this about Luka though. Looking at his G League stats, they were really impressive. I mean, to score 20-something points a game and get 11 rebounds a game, that's nothing to That's nothing to laugh at. Those are pretty good stats. I read about him is that offensively sometimes it's shot selection. He doesn't take the best of shots sometimes, and he needs to improve a 3-point shot. Defensively, defensively it's kind of like hot and cold. Sometimes he's really active on defense. Sometimes he might lose focus because I think that's the reason he got cut from the Spurs. I think in a preseason game, he lost focus on a play. And from that time on, that was it.
Yeah.
The Spurs had enough. So, honestly, I see it as a no-risk kind of signing because this guy has potential, and if he can grow into the player that he's meant to be, it could be beneficial to Knicks in the future. You never know.
Yeah, exactly, man. We might have Luka in the wings. I might have Jokic who's out there playing well in Europe. We might have some guys coming down the pipeline. It could be good. McBride's still there. We got Powell who can still kind of pan out later. We have a bunch of guys who we can you can probably plug and play a little bit later if some of this raw talent pans out. Even Amir Simmons, man, I like his defense and his footwork that he showed in the last game. So I like it all, man. I like it all. But to wrap it up, man, I just want to end it here. Preseason, I just want to talk about what we liked and didn't like about the preseason, what we need to work on moving forward, and we can wrap it up right there. I mean, the one thing I saw somebody say they want McBride. Listen, I'm not sure if that's going to happen yet. I always felt like Kevin Knox was a situational start because of the predicament that the Knicks are in, right? They want to give him every chance to keep his job and to make a living because this is his last year to be with the Knicks and to make a name for himself. But when it comes to McBride, we're going to have him for, years. And the guys in front of him, they're more solidified. They're more solidified run. They've actually contributed to winning last season. And they play a role, so it's going to be harder for McBride to get in. But like we said, it quickly starts to struggle in certain areas. Maybe we could see him get in some spot minutes later on if there's some injuries. But it's going to be harder even for McBride to get in, it seems like, because of the people in front of him.
Yeah, most definitely. I agree with that because you have to look at the Knicks point guard lineup. They have Kemba Walker, an established veteran, Derrick Rose, an established veteran, Quickley, who Thibs definitely puts a lot of trust in. So right there, that's 3 point guards, and it was just proven the other day when Kemba was resting. There was an opportunity to bring McBride in, seeing that Rose was starting, but instead, Thibs opted for Quickley to play the point guard in the second unit.
Exactly.
So, as much as we want McBride to play, at the moment it's going to be pretty hard for him because he's pretty much the fourth point guard in the rotation at the moment, and like you said, it's going to take guys coming down with injury, or it's either that or Quickley does not impress, and then this is like, since Quickley's not impressing me, okay, McBride, you're going to get his minutes instead.
Exactly. So I'm not sure what McBride's future is going to be, but it might be a hard road for McBride, man. As good as he is and as much as he's impressed, it might be a hard road for McBride to crack some New York Knicks minutes. Or maybe if a trade happens mid-season, blockbuster trade, we trading all these like really solid pieces for somebody great, then maybe we'll see something, But who knows? Definitely who knows. Also, I just want to add with this, man. From now on, Tom Thibodeau, listen, the jury is in. Obi and Randle can play together. I repeat, Obi and Randle can play together. Offensively and defensively, it can work. Oddly enough, I think them knowing that they're undersized on the defensive end mentally helps them lock in a whole lot more and a whole lot better, because I felt like they were scrambling and rotating better than I've ever seen before. So, like, I think, listen, when it comes to these discussions, how many minutes can Obi Toppin play? Really? He has to play next to Randle. Tonight might be the first night. That might be that little inkling. This might be the glimmer of hope to having Obi Toppin play 15, 20 minutes a game maybe at some point. 20 minutes a game tonight for Obi.
Yeah, but here's the con to that though. If Tom increases Obi's minutes to have him play along with Randle, what does that mean for Noel then? Because with Obi playing more minutes, and then you already know Dip's gonna play Randle like 37 minutes a game. Randle ain't hardly coming out the game. So therefore, that's gonna be less time for Noel to get into the game. So yeah, you have to try to balance that.
So, and my reply is so. Is my reply. My reply is so. Who are we more invested in? Are we more invested in Noel, or are we more invested in the guy who we drafted number 8? Or Noel. I mean, and I'm not saying Noel is a good player. He's a guy who can, he's a rim runner. He's a blocker. He's a shot blocker, and he said he's trying to expand to that corner 3. But the more time Obi Toppin gets, the better he will get. And if we end up keeping him because he can play with Randle, that's gonna work out better for us long term. And even if we don't keep him, the fact that he's experimenting. He's able to, expand his game, because we saw him do some dribble drive. We saw him do some dribble drive moves. We saw him do an ISO move. When's the last time you seen Obi do an ISO move ever? He played ISO. He shot threes. We saw him going to the rim, even though he wasn't finishing at a high clip. We saw him try all these other things. that we never seen him do next year. If he's able to get some reps in, and we got to see that consistently, his value will go up, and it's going to be way better for the New York Knicks going forward. So my reply is, so what? I love Noel. Hey, Noel, get these 5 minutes blocking shots.
I'll say this, though. If Obi can use his athleticism to block shots the way he blocked shots in tonight's game, yeah, he does deserve those 15, 20 minutes per game.
Exactly. 3 blocks, 20 minutes, Ryan. 3 blocks, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 20 minutes.
Like I said, if he plays like that, then Noel, I guess I'm gonna have to treat you like Uncle Phil did to Jazz too.
Exactly. Oh, throw you right on your boot. Out of here, man. It's tossed. Tossed. I'm with it.
Oh man,
I'm with it. But that's all I got to say, man. That's all I have to say, man. Get that Knicks. We still have to work on the defense. We still have to work on the ball movement in the first quarter. More small ball, please. Grimes, please leapfrog Kevin Knox. And let's get this win on Wednesday. Salute JT Reddick with the $4.99 super chat. Says salute KOT. This was a great game to end the season, man. I agree, man. Super agree, man. Oh man. But yo, there's no more calls. Thanks for watching. That's our show, man. That is our show. We will be back. We'll definitely be back Wednesday. Right after the game Wednesday, come watch the KOT show as we celebrate, man, because I'm already calling it. We winning this game.
Yes,
all right?
Sir.
They count us out already. Yo, the Celtics are better. Ooh, old man Al Horford is back. And No. I don't care. Randle is coming back. He's going to give you that 20. Kemba Walker is going to be hyped to play his old team every 482 as well. And the defense is going to be way better. We're going to have practices. We're going to be locked in, and we're winning this game. Straight up.
Exactly.
Straight up. All right? But that is our show, man. You already know where to see us, man. You can follow us on the KOT Show on Twitter. All right? The Nick of Time Show on Instagram and Facebook as well. And you know what? If you want to cast these lids, man, let me show you where to cast these lids, man. Get these KOT snapbacks. Hold on. All you got to do, get the KOT snapbacks. Go to thenickoftimeshow.com/catalog to get your KOT snapbacks. You know what I mean? All you got to do is go nickoftimeshow.com, click that link. Get the blogs, get your snapback, and we send it right to you. Shout out to the people who have sent them or who've rocked them already. Thank you for your support. All right. That is our show, though, man. One last shout out to everybody. Fritz, Iller, tell him Alejandro, Foolproof Projects. Thank you for everybody who's rocking with the KOT show. All right. Ryan, where can they find you, sir?
You can find me on Instagram at Sir G is chillin'.
Sir G is chillin'.
That's SIR. G is CHILLIN. And I think Fritz kind of gave me the links to the side in the chat, so you could just go to the links right there. It'll send you directly to my Instagram and to my Twitter at RyanGKOT. And I'm gonna sneak this in, man. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Bro pick.
Hold on. Let me introduce the segment. Let me introduce the segment. For guys who are KOT newbies, we have a tradition here when we have a bruh pick. We have something called Ooh Picks and Bruh Picks. Bruh Picks are usually the worst basketball plays of the week, or just something stupid that happened that we like to point out and highlight. So go ahead, Ryan. What is your bruh pick for tonight?
I don't know. I feel like tonight I'm in a petty mood.
Oh Lord, petty.
Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron.
You giving LeBron the?
Wait. Let me finish. LeBron.
Okay.
AD. Russ. DeAndre Jordan. All these good. Dwight Howard. All these guys. 0-5 in preseason, but there was a play against the Kings. Rondo and Russ gets the bruh pick for tonight.
Okay.
There was a play where Rondo had the ball. They double-teamed him at the top of the key. But my man Rondo did a nice spin move. Escaped the defense. defense. Drove to the basket. My guy had an easy layup, but no, he was like, I'm gonna be fancy. I see Russ in the lane. He passed it to Russ. Bang off the side of his head.
Oh, bruh. I missed that. Anybody see that on Twitter? I missed that. I missed that, man. Yo. If you got, I'm definitely gonna be looking on Twitter for that, man. I'm definitely gonna be looking on Twitter for that, man. All right. Yo, if you got a bro pick, I know it's hard. It's hard to like prepare. It's hard to prepare last minute. Yo, if you got a bro pick early, let me know. I'm gonna try to get a video clip set up. You know what I mean? And we get that thing popping. All right. But that is our show. We out of here tonight.
Peace.
Peace.